Good morning. I call the meeting of the National Board of Assessors to order at 9 a.m. on Thursday morning, December 16th, 2021. Present from the board, let the record show, are Robert Early, Paul Bergeron, and myself, Daniel Hansberry. Is there a motion to waive the reading of the public meeting minutes from the board meeting of December 2nd, 2021, accept them and place them on file?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any errors or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Is there a motion to waive the reading of the non-public meeting minutes from the board meeting of December 2nd, 2021, accept them and place them on file?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Are there any errors or corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. At this time, I will recognize Richard Vincent, who is the Department Head of Assessing. Good morning, Mr. Vincent.
Good morning, and thank you. We do have Vision in on the meeting today. They'll give an update, the quarterly update to the board. So I'll turn it over to, I know June is here. I'm not sure if Mike is. I don't see him in the list there, but June Perry is here from Vision. So I'll turn it over.
Hi,
Good
can
morning.
you hear me?
We can,
Yes,
coming through
thank
loud
you.
and clear.
Okay, great. Just a little bit of an update. I know we talked a bit last month, but just to let you all know, data collection is finally just about over. The residential is done with the initial data collection. We have a handful of commercials that we're finishing up on, and we're doing building permits and callbacks going forward. We've done wards 1 and 2 are done. Wards 3, we're in the process of this month. Wards 4, 5, and 6 are going, the letters are going out next week for appointments that will be scheduled for January, February, and into March if needed. And then we will finalize that with 7, 8, and 9 as soon as the last ones are done. So that process is continuing. Data entry is ongoing. We've also started reviewing sales out in the field. So we'll continue to do that throughout December, and preliminary analysis will get started in early January. So everything's on schedule and going on time, so it's all good on our end.
How's the admission rate into the properties?
Overall, right now in Ward 3, like I said the last time, we were at about a 25% on Wards 1 and 2. Right now, we're at probably an 18%, but that's only through the first 2 weeks. So hopefully, as we continue the next couple of weeks, although the holidays are here, we'll see how that goes. But I think we're going to end up at about 20% on Ward 3. So we'll see where the median comes out at the end.
And then now, I receive a letter as a property owner, and it states in the letter that if I want a vaccinated employee, I can request that. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And then what does it mean to be vaccinated? Does it mean that the person has received, we'll take Pfizer or Moderna and set aside Johnson & Johnson. Does it mean the person's received 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, or a variation?
I'm going to say that I don't know the answer to that question specifically. I ask my people if they're vaccinated. They either tell me yes or no. I'm assuming that if you're getting a vaccination, or at least going to get 1 or 2, I can get the answer to that though for you, but I don't know it.
Now, is that something as a property owner that we can ask when we call in? Can we say that we want a person coming to the home, if they've had Moderna or Pfizer, to have all 3 shots? Is that something we're allowed to do, or is that not permissible?
You certainly can ask. I think it's any property owner's right to know if the person coming into their house is vaccinated. I tell the people who are doing the inspections, if someone asks you at the door, tell your own truth.
Thank you. Other questions for Ms. Perry?
I don't have any.
A couple of other questions. and I know that you're dealing primarily with residential, but with industrial properties and warehouses, based on everything I'm reading, they're appreciating considerably in value. As you go around New England and New York, are you finding that to be the case?
Mike, you want to jump in on that one?
Sure, yeah, I agree with you. They're hot. Apartments and industrial, they're hot. So we're gonna see good increases on those, I would assume.
All right, thank you. Is there anything else, Ms. Perry?
Nope, we're just going along as scheduled, working closely with the assessor's office now as we finalize the data collection, which will be nice to finally be done with this phase as we move forward. So no, everything's going along well.
Does the staff have any questions?
No.
All right, well, thank you very much. Have a happy holiday, have a happy new year, and we'll plan on seeing you in March.
Thank you, you as well.
Thank you.
See you.
All right, so new business. We have an in-house correction from Mr. Vincent.
Yes. This is for property at 7 Pine Street, Extension North. It's owned by the city of Nashua. It was leased to Riverside Properties. The tenant has not been in the property since 2019. The property was still being billed as though it was taxable, as though the tenant was there. So we need to correct that. The city has retaken possession of the property. It was back in 2019. So we need to abate the 2019, 2020, and 2021 taxes that are outstanding on the property. Seeing as how it's not leased to a tenant, it is, once again, tax exempt. So we need to abate those 3 years' worth of taxes.
And you'd like that action this morning?
I'm sorry, what's that?
You'd like that action, you'd like us to act on that this morning?
Yes.
Okay. So is there a motion to abate the taxes for tax years 2019, 2020, 2021 for the property identified as 7 Pine Street Extension? Is that extension? Yeah, it's Pine Street Extension, right? Yeah, so 7 Pine Street Extension North.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Does that conclude your report?
It does.
Thank you. Thank you. At this time, we will recognize Mr. Turgis, who has an in-house correction and a supplemental bill for us. Good morning, Mr. Turgis.
Good morning, Board. The first in-house correction I have for you is 1617 Southwood Drive. That was incorrectly listed with too many arrays on the cell tower. We have made the correction and adjusted the assessment accordingly.
Does Alex own that building, or are they renting that building?
He owns it.
He owns that building?
Yep.
Any questions for Mr. Turgis?
No, I don't have any.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the in-house correction for the property located at 1,617 Southwood Drive?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Mr. Turgis?
The second one I have for you is a fireplace, 24 Hood Street. We had the fireplace incorrectly listed as a gas fireplace. It is in fact electric fireplace piece of furniture that you would purchase at Home Depot or whatever. So the minor correction on that.
Questions, Mr. Turgis?
No.
Where's Hood Street? Whereabouts is that in Nashville?
It's off the top of my head right now. I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, that's all right. All right. Is there a motion to approve the in-house correction for the property located at 24 Hood Street?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Does that conclude your report?
I do have one more thing. It is a supplemental bill for NPAC.
Okay, so it drops about $22.5 million. Why is that?
On which one? I'm sorry? On-
I'm sorry, no, wait a minute, I'm reading that wrong. Okay, it drops, yeah, no, it's off by, it drops by like 22,500,
On,
right?
on NPAC?
Yeah, so it says total amount of the bill, oh, sorry, no,
That-
wait.
That's
wait.
the actual tax bill.
Okay, sorry, yeah, that's right, okay, sorry, read that
Yeah,
wrong.
that's the actual tax bill. And there is a typo on that. It should be 24,530, not 520. That's just a typo on my behalf.
Okay. And there was some question raised by a citizen about the property being visited in early April rather than March, or it was raised. What, was there some issue on that?
It was visited by Vision on April 12th of 2021. I believe Greg made a prior visit.
Yes, I believe it was 2018 when the city actually acquired the property. I did a full inspection on the property after Alex had moved out. There were some of the apartments that are part of the West Pearl Street section that were still occupied. And the city basically was the landlord, so we inspected that, so they would be paying taxes on the occupied section. But that was shortly after the city gained ownership of the property.
All right, so that's when the city, and then Vision was the next party to inspect the building.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. And just out of curiosity, those apartments are really, they face Garden Street. How do you access those apartments when they were actually being occupied?
That was the entrance on West Pearl Street.
So the entrance was on West Pearl Street?
Right, that was the apartment section, that was the tall, I think it was 4-story section.
Right.
Those were the apartments.
Okay. But do all of the windows face Garden Street?
Don't remember.
A lot of them do, anyway.
A lot of them do. Yeah, it was a few years ago I was in there, and yeah.
There are windows that face West Pearl Street as well.
There are, okay.
Yeah. The narrow side of the 3 or 4-story building faces West Pearl Street. So the log side of the building faces, it must be Garden Street, but
Right.
faces west. I believe there are windows on both sides of the building.
Okay, all right. All right. So, is there a motion to approve the supplemental bill for the property located at 78 to 84 West Pearl Street?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Is that everything, Mr. Churchess?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
All right, so now, unfinished business. We had tabled the minutes from the previous meeting because they did not capture, from the meeting on the 18th, they did not capture comments made by Mr. Early. So is there a motion to take from the table the minutes from the board meeting of November 18th, 2021.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so that motion is now before us, and so the corrections going to be made. Are you satisfied with
This, yeah, this
Okay,
one.
all right. So the motion would be to accept the minutes from accept the public minutes from the meeting of November 18th, 2021 as corrected and place them on file.
So moved.
No, the motion's already before us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we've taken it from the table, so it's a live
Oh,
motion.
okay.
Okay. So all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. All right, public comment, and there's no members of the public physically present. Is there anybody out in cyberspace that wishes to comment? I would remind everyone that it's a 5-minute public comment period. And Director Klein, you usually coordinate that for us. Do you have anybody that wants to speak?
Hi, this is Diane. Director Kleiner is not with us at this moment, but no, we have no one here.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Are there comments by board members?
I have none.
And we need a non-public session, correct?
Correct.
So is there a motion to go into non-public session for 2 reasons? First, to discuss matters which if discussed in public would likely affect adversely the reputation of any person other than a member of this board unless such person requests an open meeting. This exemption shall extend to include any application for assistance or tax abatement, a waiver of a fee, fine, or other levy if based on inability to pay or poverty of the applicant pursuant to RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, parenthetical C. Second, under 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, parenthetical L, for the consideration of legal advice provided by legal counsel, either in writing or orally, to one or more members of the public body, even where legal counsel is not present.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I will call the roll. Mr. Early?
Yes.
Mr. Bergeron?
Yes.
Mr. Hansberry? Yes. Let the record show that we have entered non-public session at 9:17 and give channel.
I will confirm we're off.
Off, okay.